Emory wasn't comfortable with the cycles, and I didn't want to leave him alone with a pack of alphas that might resent his presence. 2 hours in, and I already regretted that decision. They weren't talking. Emory made a few attempts at starting a conversation, but it fell flat and he eventually gave up, turning instead to stare out his backseat window. From the front passenger seat, I watched the wind ruffling his tousled brown hair, the sharp angle of his jaw flexing as his brain worked. Mateo lounged beside him, laid back and, as far as I could tell, asleep. His tan face was slack, dark curls bouncing on his forehead in the breeze, hands folded over his stomach. I shifted in my seat to a forward-facing position. This truck was ancient, but rigorously maintained. Its softer materials had long since degraded or been stripped away, and all that remained was the hollowed-out shell. The windows no longer held glass or even a mechanism to raise it. The dash had gaping holes where electrical components once existed. All the wiring that wasn't used specifically to propel the vehicle forward had been cannibalized for something else. My seat was obviously a replacement, rough leather stretched over the metal frame and stuffed with something pokey. Perhaps straw. It was better than a hard metal seat, but on a bumpy, packed dirt road it wasn't exactly comfortable. I missed the butter-soft leather of my cycle, the quiet motor, the sweet breeze on my face. The truck engine wasn't loud. It ran on electricity collected from the solar panels that topped the truck and stored in the battery below our feet. But the rumbling and grinding of all the metal parts was loud enough that it made light conversation challenging. Under all the rattling and protesting metal was a low, deep hum. I just hoped it wasn't a sign the truck was about to rattle itself apart. Taika drove, right hand on the wheel and left elbow resting on the window frame. As usual, he was calm, peaceful, his inky hair freshly cropped, a relaxed smile lifting his full lips. He gazed through the windshield, wind from the open windows rustling the neck of his long-sleeved cotton shirt. The sleeves were down and buttoned, revealing just a tantalizing peak of black tattoo on his wrist. I was dying to know what he'd inked onto his skin, but unsure if it was polite to ask. His salty pine scent mixed pleasantly with the mountain air that swirled through the cab. I soon realized the low hum I noticed earlier was coming from deep within his chest, a sound of contentment. I wondered if he realized he was doing it. Returning my gaze to the road ahead, I tried to see through the dust billows kicked up by Rowan and Stig on their cycles. I'd never been this far west, but so far the road ahead looked exactly like the one we traveled from the east to reach the fortress, a wall of towering dense pine on each side, interspersed with delicate aspen trees. The fortress guard maintained the roads to a certain point before the packs took over. They cleared the saplings that crept close to the road, providing several yards of cleared space on either side. Right now, tall grasses filled in the distance between the trees and hard-packed road. My eyes darted to Taika. He seemed so peaceful. I hated to distract him. Taika's smile widened, his right cheek dimple appearing. "Yes?" he asked over the truck noise, keeping his eyes on the road. The humming stopped. "I was just wondering how far your first outpost is from here." The noise from the truck was loud enough that our loud conversation didn't seem to catch the attention of Mateo and Emory in the back seat. They remained in the same positions as before. "We're traveling roughly twice as fast as the convoy typically moves. We usually travel about 8 hours from one outpost to the next, so I'd say we're halfway to the first outpost." I chewed over that information for a moment. "Do you think we can bypass 2 outposts a day, or just one? How many outposts are there between the fortress and your village anyway?" I disliked speaking so loudly just to be heard over the rumbling machine, but I would have to get used to it with the long journey ahead. Taika chuckled. "I don't want to go over 8 hours in a day in this beast, do you? And I don't think we need to. It's typically a 10-day trip for the convoy, so bypassing 1 outpost per day, it'll be 5 for us. Round trip, we should be back before the clan gathering is due to end." "But what about all the strategy sessions we're supposed to have the last week of the gathering? Aren't those important for organizing against the race?" "We can probably accomplish those talks and all that."